All right, hello everybody and good evening. Welcome back, to day number 2 of Asia Enterprise Blockchain Week. We are now broadcasting live. It is 8 p.m. sharp, and we are at the Asia Blockchain Center bringing you this content today. For this week, it is the focus now is on helping more of you, to understand, about blockchain and how is it applied in the enterprise industry. Over this 5 days, we have this content for you. We started up with blockchains as a service. If you have not catch the first event before, we have the link here for you. Blockchain as a service, we started this out first because a lot of people, when they begin about knowing about experimenting blockchain, they find it very difficult, but it's actually can be quite easy. So do check out the first video on Monday. After you realize and get inspired by some of the ways of how other people do it, then we dive into specific use cases that can be relevant, particularly for your industry, for your company, or for your government agency. So today we'll be diving into the topic of traceability. We have 3 distinguished panelists who will be joining us tonight, and then followed up by tomorrow in insurance, capital markets on Thursday, and last but not least, on Friday, we are going to have a panelist session with people to talk about what to look forward to, in the next 3 to 5 years. Very important, as always, because our disclaimer, that none of the information that is shared throughout the week should be treated as financial investment and advice. Please use this information as a free resource to supplement your learning of what blockchain technology is, why it matters, and how can you use it right now. The purpose of why we do what we do is to help more people to understand blockchain technology by providing a safe, neutral, and easy environment to learn about the technology, help people differentiate between what is real, what is fake, so that you can capture the real opportunities and find remote work or generate an alternative income in the industry. And by having more of you who are able to carry out, have better, higher knowledge and are more mature with the technology, then you will become a very attractive person, which the industry would want to meet you. Reputable projects, like what you who you're going to meet today on the panelist session, would want to get to know you, would want to want you as part of their project, either as a user, as an adopter, fan, or champion. So for those who are completely new to blockchain, by now a lot of you would have already known what this technology is about. We have done Enterprise Blockchain Week once back in May. We'll put in the links in the comment sections for those who are completely new to this. But for those who are just joining us, what we're basically seeing here is that the transition from managing data, from traditional databases and moving it into shared distributed ledger technologies. Why is that important? Because in the past, when you store your, the way how we manage our data, We do it very well. We keep it, in every single company has their own database. But then there comes the issue, okay, that when people start to argue, okay, across countries, your data, can I trust your data? No, my data is correct, not your data. These kinds of issues create a lot of inefficiencies. Whereas imagine, okay, a shared database. Imagine, okay, that countries, okay, that are cooperating one another, or different companies in the same industry, okay, are able to speak in the same language because the data, okay, is on a blockchain. You can see a lot of efficiencies, and thus solving a lot of problems, okay, relating to trust. Like for example, okay, imagine in the supply chain, how do you know whether, okay, a fruit, okay, from the farm is say the Musang King durian, which is a very expensive fruit, okay, is as what it is when it is delivered, okay, from the farm all the way, okay, to its destination, let's say China. So we have three very distinguished guests, okay, who are in the traceability field. Okay, the first one is Vechain. Vechain recently, okay, is a layer one protocol. Is a layer one protocol that recently also appeared in the news. Okay, they are the world's first. The VeChain Foundation is the world's first blockchain-based entity. Okay, to be part of the China Animal Health and Food Safety Alliance called CAFA. It is basically the Chinese government's Ministry of Agriculture's organization that intends to build a traceability system from farm to table across China and solve problems, okay, that they have had in the past, particularly involving in food safety or lack of it, such as counterfeit baby milk or frying oil, containing carcinogens. So, and we also have Lux Tech with us today. Lux Tech is a local, a Malaysia-based company, blockchain company that helps. Okay, recently also has a live solution for a luxury watch brand from the Switzerland. Okay, it has just produced its first batch of Lux Tech secured watches. Okay, about 500 pieces. Okay, that counters the problem of counterfeit luxury watches. We also have with us today Sinisana, okay, the founder and CEO of co-founder and CEO of Sinisana. They are a food provenance-based blockchain service provider. Um, I just got a message, okay, that from Sarah Neba that she might join us later, but something last minute just came up. But for now, okay, please, thank you so much, okay, Renee Bernard and Jonah Lau from Sinisana for joining us today.
Good evening. Hi, nice to meet you all.
So, Jonah, are you here with us right now as well? Hello, Jonah. Um, can't hear Jonah right now. Okay, Renee, thanks for joining us. First question, okay, for
Yep.
this particular session, I'd
Yep.
like to divide it into, great. I'd like to divide this session, okay, into
Hi,
basically three
Jason,
parts.
Renee. How are you all?
Hi, Jonah. Okay, thanks for joining us. So for this session, okay, I'd like to divide this session into three parts. Most people, okay, who are listening in right now, they're familiar with blockchain. They're familiar with the benefits, okay, of what sharing, okay, the database is. But I think what is lacking, okay, is and a lot of the feedback that we get from the community is that there aren't enough examples, okay, or a lot of people are afraid, okay, whether is it something for them, right? Is it something for their company? Is it something for their government institution? So what I like to do, okay, is like to divide this session into three parts. The first part is to helping people to first identify the use case. So and then after that, then we move on to learning on some case studies on how other people have done it, and then follow on by what are the next steps. So let's start off, okay, by talking a little bit about using blockchain, to solve problems, for product traceability and product provenance. The first question is, how big is the problem? Okay, how big is the problem in your experience? Say Renee, when you speak to a customer and a customer decides, to uh, implement, a solution, um, how big was the problem for them? Can you give some examples?
Well, you present that as if it was a very easy question, demanding an easy answer, right? But that's not the case. Every industry, every business has very different problems, pain points. And in our industry now, in the industry we aim to serve, it is about authenticity, it is about gray market transactions, it's about the traceability of products. Actually, it boils down to trust, right? Trust in various elements of a chain of transactions. And then various problems can arise, cosmetics, there's many harmful ingredients, fake cosmetics. You have actually this counterfeit industry is mainly what I looked at, and the problem there is $1 trillion size. This is like actually maybe not everybody knows that, but the main counterfeited products are textiles, and textiles in that sector is actually about shoes. All these Nike and Adidas and all these, the damage for the companies go into the billions per company. And when you look at all this together, counterfeit alone really is $1 trillion market loss, right? A market loss, which I consider as an opportunity to reduce the loss for these businesses working on authenticity and traceability.
What about you, Jonah? For your side, Renee just talked about, um, the the counterfeit, food safety is very, very important. Reputation, when something, is found, in the food sources, which is not supposed to be, can be very damaging. What about
Yeah.
on your case, on your side? How big is the problem?
Well, I think if you look at the grand total of food safety issues, and we just look from food itself, in the past 10 years, every single year there has been one major case or problem that has occurred. In the United States, almost on a yearly basis, you hear about issues with E. coli or Salmonella poisoning because they eat a lot of salads. So, from fresh produce. We've seen issues in Europe itself with things like horse meat being mixed into products such as burgers and patties and all that stuff. In China, you mentioned milk powder, the usage of reuse of oil. And in Malaysia itself, we have also seen similar issues that has cropped up. But it is, to me, a problem worth solving because it's something that will help ensure that the consumers around the world gain access to safe food.
Right. Okay. I think, what you say, is loud and clear. Definitely can see the $1 trillion, problem statement there. Then the next question is, when where does one begin, when it comes to doing, like doing a proof of concept, to prove. Right now, I think a lot of people, they feel that blockchain is something which is not for something, that only, let other people do, but what is it, that can help people to kind of like, take the first step? Renee, can you share some thoughts first?
The pressure to innovate and not to
The
lag behind.
the pressure to
Quite simple.
innovate and not the pressure to innovate and not get left behind. Can
Yeah,
you
exactly.
so you're saying, that there isn't enough pressure, to innovate, or is, um there needs to be more pressure to innovate.
No. I'm saying that in the industrial environment of for-profit companies, there is competition in the world, and who does something better than another company at a reasonable or a better price gets the cake, right, at the end. So it's about competitive pressure, getting better, using the available technologies at its best, and the fact that we have several players in this market of traceability. You know how these QR codes are not only around us now in the coronavirus times, checking into the restaurants and shops, but we have QR codes on products. We have NFC enabled artwork. Products get connected with an online world. It's happening, and LuxTag is not the only company doing this. There is many companies doing something like that, in that sense, connecting online and offline, bringing that to the attention of the world, of the businesses and the consumers. And then companies who don't innovate and don't adopt such technologies might get left behind. They are under some pressure to catch up and improve even their offerings to the world to serve their customers, as in the consumers, better.
Okay. For Jonah, okay, can you share with the audience, okay, an example, okay, of a recent implementation, okay, so that people can get an idea, okay, on who has done it before and what have they gained, okay, as a result.
Well, I'll share a case from an implementation, test implementation that we did before the pandemic, just before the pandemic hit, and this was in China for medium scale manufacturer of canned fruits, and they probably do somewhere in the region of about 200 tons of fruits a day. Not very big in the grand scheme of things, but if we compare to places like Malaysia, it's quite significant. So one of the things
Jonah? Renee, did we just lose Jonah?
Yeah, I can still hear you, see you, but Jonah is frozen.
Right.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
He's far away, right? We have to apologize that. He's back now. Yes. Jonah, you're back.
Jonah, you were saying, okay, we lost you for about like 1 minute. Okay, can you start again? You said that you were doing a recent implementation.
Yeah, and for us, it's about how real you want it to be, because when we start implementing this, our viewpoint is always that it has always to be based on real data. It is easy for you to create a QR code, put a tag on it, and claim that it comes from a place. But our viewpoint is that we need data to actually collaborate and say that this is actually real. The ingredients that you say went into this product actually comes from a particular place. And then the owner actually put me aside and he said, actually, there are certain things that's not right. We're doing certain things that maybe out of 10%, 90, 100%, maybe 10% is not right. And so they had that challenge of saying that if we're going to be fully transparent, then they will actually need to make real changes within their business itself. And so I think it's more of a business issue, less of a technology issue, that they need to actually say that we really want to change, we want to make a difference, and this is how we're going to do it. And then we can come in and help. But if you just want us to come in and rubber stamp and say that everything's safe because it's on the blockchain, then I think you're just deluding yourself, you're deluding the consumers.
Renee, do you have any comments on that?
If it was a chat, I would write +1. fully subscribe. I agree. Yes. True. So true. That's why we decided to work with a manufacturer of a product, and we verify that that person is the real manufacturer, has the right certifications, and then after certain steps happen, similar like you remember there was this green bar for SSL certificates where you as a
Yes.
company submit documents for checking, and that is really you, and something similar we apply to make sure that we are dealing with a real manufacturer company, and then we can certify this item comes directly from them. I'm not talking yet about what are the ingredients in there. What Jonah
Right.
mentioned about ingredients, that's a whole different story. And to onboard all various players and suppliers of the ingredients, think about ingredients for food and beverage, as well as all the little screws and items for a luxury watch. Wow, you can't really onboard all these companies and suppliers into the system. Our source of trust is now the trusted and verified manufacturer. That's as far as we can go. Otherwise, very hard to just rubber stamp something.
Right. Okay, so you're saying, okay, that you work with the manufacturers. One of the key challenges, okay, is we're not talking about the ingredients yet, because you would then need to onboard and you need to give identities and provenance, okay, for each of the ingredients. But as things become more complex, right? Okay, uh, is is that enough to give provenance? Okay, just on the manufacturer side, is that enough to solve the problem?
So,
Jonah,
Jason, if I may answer that, when we implemented for that, we actually identified key ingredients and we track it. We make sure that
Right.
those ingredients actually comes from the farm that they say it comes from. If they can't tag it down to a farm because it's a large area, then we say it's from this county, right, or from a town. So at least we have that level of traceability, right? We trace it. We have GPS coordinates that trace every second of where it has gone, where it has stopped. It gets to the factory, and we say, okay, so at least I know that whatever that you produce in the future comes from products or ingredients that we know were actually sourced from where you say it is, right? It's not coming from a third grade manufacturer that you go and remanufacture and things like that. So
Right.
that's the level that we go to.
Right. So, okay, I'm starting to sense something here, which is that uh, so you mentioned, okay, that, okay, managing expectations, okay, with the people who want to run these experiments, right? Okay, are very, very important. What is one misconception that very often, okay, people have, okay, and needs to, how do I say, maybe for once and for all, okay, have clarity, okay, before that they go and do the, before that they actually embark, okay, on a an experiment for their products. What is one misconception that usually clients have that you wish that they don't have? Jonah, can you go first? What is
I
one
guess I
misconception that
would say
most
yeah, a lot of people assume that blockchain is a silver bullet. That if I do
yeah,
something on a blockchain, it's this magical thing, it's going to solve all my problems. But the reality is, if you're running a business on pen and paper today,
yeah,
blockchain is not going to do a lot of things for you. But what you can do is you can use the impetus from trying to start blockchain to transform your business digitally. And you can transform it in a digital manner that's going to last you for the next 10, 20 years.
right. Okay, so step number one, okay, a lot of people they think, okay, that uh, just blockchain in itself, okay, is this magical silver bullet. But the first step that is required is that it actually involves first digitizing, okay, their processes. Okay,
Yep.
Renee, what is one, okay, big misconception, okay, that a lot of people have? It could be maybe they just view it too simply on the exercise that is involved. What is one big misconception that most people have that you wish, um, that they know, that now they know much more better?
I think it goes into the same direction here. It's about the business processes, and we can only reflect or the business processes in the digital world when they are done properly. Companies still need to follow their ISO certifications, other best practices, all these matters. So it's about that. It's about the holistic approach to the business processes.
Right.
And yeah, not much more to add to this. That is the main misconception about the not being a silver bullet.
So so now that, imagine, that the blockchain, that they have implemented something, they have chosen, to put their data, and trace, the entire, product lifecycle on a particular system, right? One of the questions, that people have is that because there are so many emerging protocols and platforms, Lux Tech, you use one chain, I think you use the NEM blockchain. Is that correct, Rene?
NEM and its subsequent NEM symbol, NEM 2.0, yes.
Right. Okay. And what chain do you use, Jonah?
We're on N-chain and also on Hyperledger Fabric.
Unchained and Hyperledger Fabric. But where do you see, that this thing moving forward, with the data, in many chains, can they eventually work together?
I hope so, but if it does not work that way, we're going to integrate every single one of them.
Right. Renee, like moving forward, some people, they don't want, they how do I say, what do you say to those, people listening in right now, who they want to wait and see, other people, do it first, before they actually take the step of doing themselves, because there are so many, different kinds of uh, protocols out there, which what do you say, to people, who are just still on the bylines, and wait and see?
Okay, so this is about the first mover fear or first mover advantage, or people hesitating and not knowing what to choose. So I think this first mover fear or braveness is maybe one topic we can talk about and all the benefits of that. But let's go into the direction of the choice of protocol, right? Choosing this one or that one, and fear whether it's the right one or not. So I would advise actually not to focus too much on one particular blockchain technology protocol which you want to adopt in your organization or not, but choose a system integrator or a vendor or developer company, a technology partner, maybe as Jonah or as us. Choose a partner you like to work with in implementing the processes into your business, in putting the right front end of the web applications, mobile applications, your customer engagement part. Put all this together, because it's more about the front end and about the bottom line of people using the system and value being created through the use of the system than about the back end workings of the system, right? Actually, none of your customers usually would ask you, well, what database technology or what kind of web server do you use in your data center?
Yes.
If you are a Nike, right? They care about the comfy shoes, not about what tech you use in the background. So I think don't focus too much on that, but focus more on the usability, on the bottom line.
Right. Okay. Focus on the end result. Okay. As long as you are able to deliver, the end result. Okay. The how is not that critical, because the customer is more interested, in the end result. Now, so if we're talking, about the the different kind of chains. I like, both of you to maybe share, over the last few years, seeing so many different kind of implementations, has there been one lesson, during an implementation that you wish you had learned before, maybe something that went wrong, okay, and you wish, okay, that so that in the future, if somebody actually decided to implement something as well, okay, that they would they can learn from it now, so they don't repeat the same mistake. Jonah, can you share first?
Well, I guess the first lesson that I would say is actually quite similar to something that Renee just said, which is that a lot of times there's a misconception about what exactly blockchain is. People expect to see code flying out and stuff like that, but the reality is most of the time you're going to be interacting with the blockchain through a web application, a mobile application, and those would be the things that will actually be the interactive portion. But at the same time, when you're picking the right blockchain technology, you have to pick one that is right for your ecosystem, because blockchain is only useful when multiple parties are involved. If it's only one party, then there's no difference between you using a blockchain and using a database, right? So to me, is you and your friends, your suppliers and your customers, if they agree that this is what works from them, then that's the right technology for you, regardless of whether it's going to be N-chain, is going to be Hyperledger, is going to be NEM, or any other type of chain technology. So to me, I think getting a group of people together and working, that's the first step that you need, because without a multi-party collaboration, then you're going to lose a lot of benefits of the blockchain.
Got it. Okay. Having, okay, yeah, having a basically, you definitely need to have multi partners, okay, collaboration in order to go and make it meaningful. Are there any downsides, okay, for having, okay, this data on the blockchain though? Renee?
Obviously, yes, there are downsides from having data on a blockchain. If you put data inside a tamper-proof system, which where you can't simply amend mistakes, you definitely need to very much take care of this one principle in IT, which is called garbage in, garbage out. Right, and that is something you need to be sure that the thing you put in is real. And but we talked about this earlier with the simple rubber stamp on something. It's blockchained.
Yeah.
It's good to go. No, so that's the main thing here. We need to be aware of. Yeah, but there are solutions to that, which mainly another point, GDPR. In Malaysia, we
Yeah.
call it PDPA, right? Personal Data
Yes.
Protection Act things. Even that one, if you put data of people into a database in your company and they email you, hello, please, can you delete my data? I don't want to be in your database. You have to comply, and you can in a database. How can you in a blockchain, right? If you put people's data there. So we solve this usually with limiting the data we store in these blocks of blockchains to metadata only, or fingerprints of data, which is hashes of data, right? We may even reflect ownership relationships, that one item goes from here to there, but we don't really put names, phone numbers, street names, addresses. We don't put these things into blockchains. So this is downsides which have certain ways of mitigation, but you need to be aware that it's a bit of a different concept when you do your database modeling for the applications you want to put to use.
Got it. So, very, very interesting. Okay. I know that this is a very common question, but maybe, okay, some people listening in, okay, is they is new to them. But what you say is right. Okay. Garbage in, garbage out. However, there are solutions, okay, that would prove, okay, the sovereignty, okay, and the genuineness, okay, of the data that is being put in. Jonah, for yourself, in your point of view, are there any downsides, okay, that people must know when they are using when they're putting data, okay, onto a blockchain? What changes, okay, must they be aware of?
I think there isn't too many downsides to it. But the key thing is if you have a good solution partner that understands your business, that has designed and structured your interaction with the blockchain in a way that is suitable for your business, then it's going to be a lot smoother. If you're just going to find anyone off the street and say, here, get my business on the blockchain, and all they do is do a big data dump, then you're gonna have a big headache with all your information stored on the blockchain somewhere and not being able to delete it. Right. So to me, find the right partner, one that understands the business, one that understands how it works within your industry, because that is the most important part. If they don't understand how it works in the industry, you're going to have to explain your entire industry to them, which to me, it's just going to be a waste of time. You're going to redo over and over and over again.
Okay, for the next 10 minutes, I'd like to give both of you the opportunity to share a little bit about some of the activities that you've been doing over the last maybe things move so fast in the space in the last 6 months. What is one win that Lux Tech has been actively working on or has achieved in the last 6 months, Rene?
Well, the last 6 months actually is this crazy coronavirus time. You are all aware. So we used this time to finally work hard on the shift from project-based sales and delivery towards something more scalable, which is then the productized service, right? So we put all our learnings from various pilot projects and other experiences. We put that together, and we did our virtual remote work from home sessions with our employees and put together a product. And this product doesn't mean that you just simply subscribe to something online and then you get your rubber stamp and everything is authentic, but it's a bit more, right? So it includes the modules for the verification that you are the real business who you claim to be, and various other steps in proving that you own the trademarks for the brand that you claim to own. Then you can create products under that brand. Then you can create serialized items, which means the thousands or the millions of toothpaste or Nutella or whatever you can create under the brand which you are authorized to create items for. And all this is then secured by the blockchain technology with a single blockchain account for one single serialized item. So we created this software suite. It's almost ready for launch to have a baseline of deliverables which can scalably sell. And then we add only certain modules of integration for customers, because we just cannot continue anymore to do the only project-driven and very customized approach. We just don't have enough people to deliver and or not enough money to pay the payroll for the people to deliver so many customized projects. So we need to follow this, what is the advice in all these startup technology books, create scalable product. And that is something what in the first 2 years of LuxTag we didn't achieve. We didn't manage to get done. So now the coronavirus lockdown times helped us to accelerate the productization and reach scalability, hopefully now in the coming months when we properly launch.
That's really cool. So you've created a product, where it is easier for people to use, where brands, who are starting out can immediately apply. Who is for this product that you have just made? Who is it for? Who is the lowest hanging fruit?
Okay, so we are starting off with FMCG, right? Which is for the benefit of everybody, is fast-moving consumer goods. Which can include even some food products, but that's not our main focus, because when you're looking at food products, Jonah mentioned it. You have to keep the ingredients in mind and go that extra mile to the supply analysis. So we're looking more at FMCG and start at a manufacturer confirmation level. And now a recent business which is onboarding with us is in the dairy industry, organic dairy milk product industry. So they are our paid pilot customer for that brand tag by LuxTag. Brand tag is the name of that suite. So FMCG. Next one is obviously the luxury sector, which is true to our name, right? LuxTag comes from luxury product tagging. That was the initial idea, and we branched into various different industries, and now staying true to it, brand tag even serves the luxury industry. And a third one, besides FMCG and luxury, would be halal. Because halal is not only halal products, but it is even the certification that you are a halal practitioner, or this halal cleansing, like for cleaning shipping containers, you need to be certified, halal certified cleaning company, right? So many things about halal, where even our brand tag is prepared to serve that industry.
Okay. Jonah, okay, for yourself, can you share with us, okay, I'd like to give you the same opportunity as well to share with us either a recent, okay, successful implementation or a win, okay, on Sinisana in the last 6 months. Hello, Jonah? Jonah, are you still there?
Yeah, very similar to Renee. We've had a good, well, I wouldn't say good, but we've had significant impact from the coronavirus on our ability. Hello, could you hear me?
Okay. We get it. Okay, good in the sense that we don't like coronavirus, but you have a lot of progress in the last 6 months. Jonah?
Yep. Here.
Yeah. Yes. Can you share with us, okay, what is a win, okay? What has Sinisana been working on or have achieved in the last 6 months?
I see that Jonah's video screen disappeared from our view, didn't it? Jonah is actually on the island of Borneo, a few thousand kilometers far away, isn't it?
Yeah, he's from Sorrow side.
Yes. Hey, you're back, Jonah. Hi. Okay. Your recent win.
Yeah, sorry about that. It just bounced me up. But I didn't climb up a tree to try and get better connection, so maybe I'll try that next time.
It's okay.
So for the past 6 months, we've been working hard on making our product better. Since we can't fly anywhere to meet our clients, we've been focused a lot on the international market in places like China, US, and Italy, where we've had a lot of significant interest when we first started. But we've refocused in the past 6 months towards our domestic market, understanding what it is. And one of the key product changes we have was to create something that a food manufacturer could use to manage their manufacturing process and be able to integrate with the blockchain itself. We call it almost like an ERP-like type of a system. We don't handle your financials, but we're going to help you manage your production process and at the same time integrate that data to the blockchain. So that product's ready. We also have a new product available that helps on the supply side. So if you are someone that purchases a lot from overseas, or if you're in international trade, one of the key problems that you always face is knowing whether or not the product has been manufactured for you, whether it is still available, and whether it's going to stay available for you, right? One case in point would be all the PPEs that we have seen, your face masks, ventilators, and stuff like that, where people were snatching stock away from the factory. You may have paid, but someone comes in and offers another US dollar per piece higher, and it gets sold to another buyer, right? So we have a blockchain-based system in place where, as a buyer, you have visibility into what happens at a factory. So you know that your product has been produced, when has it been produced, when has it been packed, and when is it ready for it to be shipped. And that gives a lot of power. It solves a lot of problems that currently is inefficient within the supply chain, where a lot of times the buyers, if there's a 10-hour time difference, they have to wait 10 hours for a reply on an inquiry. And so we just want to cut that down so that things just becomes a lot more efficient, a lot more faster. And so that's something that has been done, ready to go. And if you want to talk about something that is going to be launching soon or happening soon, would be something related to tracing of sustainable products right here in Sarawak. So I hope to be able to share that very soon, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But at this moment, we are not privy to expose the name of the client yet right now.
Okay, but anyways, thanks for sharing, okay, on that. Now, the next question I'd like to ask, okay, is where, so if someone wanted, okay, to get to know more about Lux Tech and know more about Sinisana, what is the best, okay, communication vehicle that you use? Okay, where's your community? What channel do you use to get hold of you? Where does all the conversation happen? Renee?
Yeah, that's an interesting point, actually, which has an interesting angle to it too. You talked about the community. How can the community reach us? That is a very like a fan club driven, or maybe crypto or blockchain community driven question, right? Whereby when you talk to a business, right, a system integrator business company, and you ask them, oh, where does your community hang out? Well, at the restaurant downstairs, or is our staff, right? So well, or a community, I don't know, or 1 or 2 or 3 best customers going for a drink with us. So it's not really that businesses, or we don't want to brand ourselves as a community-driven something enterprise, or decentralized business, something cryptocurrency, which in the end scares off the real businesses, right? We want to work with the large businesses in the world and not be seen as a community-driven project.
Okay.
However,
where can they reach out to you? How can they reach out to you?
So, okay. Obviously, our website, LuxTag.io. And a good opportunity is even the LuxTag YouTube channel, where we have several explainer videos and then showcase our services and products. And we subscribe to HubSpot for our CRM. This means you leave a message in contact form or by email. It reaches us there and pings up on all of our screens in the office.
Okay, HubSpot it is. Jonah, what about you? What's the best way, okay, for someone to get to know Sinisana better?
Well, you could reach out to us. I think our website is sinisana.net. Yeah, not .com, .net. We're on LinkedIn. You can look for me, Jonah Lau, on LinkedIn. Or if you want, you can direct link to my LinkedIn page from jonahlau.com, and that will allow you to reach out to me anytime. Most of the times, unless I'm asleep, then I'm not going to check your message.
Okay, now we have a couple of questions coming in from the community. The first question is on the university side. Okay, if they are working on a university level, what kind of use cases? Okay, apart from the usual, like certifying the degrees and stuff like that. Are there any particular use cases, okay, that they can propose, okay, to their faculty, okay, as kind of like a small experiment to try out? Any suggestions, Renee?
Yeah, I'm always good in ideation and dreaming and coming up with ideas. I don't know whether I would do it, but an idea is, for example, protect research work or your written journal. You write journal articles, you want to protect it's yours. You can do like even your FYPs or other matters which you want to protect with something like a little copyright, right? It was me, I did it in this year, and then who knows, maybe in 5 years that becomes relevant, and you can prove, hey, it was me who created and invented this thing. Possibly that can be something.
Okay. Jonah. Okay. Same question. Okay, to you, but this time from a government agency. Are there any like use cases? Okay, a government agency can consider to trial. Okay. An experiment. Okay. Recommend that to kick off a proof of concept.
I would say that there's a lot of use case that you can find within a government agency itself, and that's mainly because the government is dealing with the public on a daily basis, and that's where blockchain can come in extremely useful in a multi-party transaction environment. We've seen cases being talked about in terms of land titles, for example, but also in terms of just managing the distribution of grants and things like that, tracking where money has gone, whether money that has gone down to the community has been spent where they're supposed to be spent. But again, you have to really consider it from a top level perspective of how much change do you actually want to initiate, and how much real change do you actually want to put in place. And if there's a lot of impetus for you to actually make real change, then come and talk to me.
All right. Okay. With that, okay, we are. I'd like to thank both Renee and Jonah for spending your 1 hour with us. To give clarity onto the different kinds of use cases. Recent month implementation problems. That are being solved in the traceability in the product provenance part using blockchain technology. Please be back here again tomorrow. Because we will continue. To explore the different kind of use cases in the blockchain space, particularly for this time it would be on the subject matter of insurance. Same time tomorrow, 8 p.m. GMT +8. Again, like to thank our partners. Like to thank Asia Blockchain Center. Like to thank our partners as well. Like to thank our panelists for being here tonight. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Jonah. From Sinisana. Till again next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.